Hi, I'm Jennifer Gillespie, a member and volunteer for the Society of Actuaries. As president-elect and as part of the SOA board of directors, and also in my volunteering before being elected, I worked closely with the SOA diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. As part of the SOA Thanks volunteer video series, I'm honored today to speak with Dwayne Husbands for a conversation about diversity inclusion in the actuarial profession and society. In addition to being an SOA member, he is also a dedicated volunteer for the International Association of Black Actuaries. Dwayne, thank you for spending time with us today to talk about your experiences. Can you tell us more about your background and how you became an actuary?
Thank you for having me. Sure. So hello, everyone. Dwayne Husbands. I am an actuary working for EY in their Life Insurance Actuary Advisory Services Group. I am both an FSA and a CFA. I am a native of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and my story about how I became an actuary is somewhat interesting. I kind of got lucky, to be honest. Essentially around the time where I was looking at colleges to attend, my mom was having a casual conversation with her boss at work one day, talking about different colleges I was applying to and what I wanted to do in the future. During that conversation, I guess recently, he wasn't an actuary, but recently had the opportunity of working with actuaries. And he mentioned it to my mom and thought it'd be a good profession, just given my math background and what I wanted to do in the future. So shortly after that, I started researching colleges. I found out that the University of Waterloo was within 2 hours of where I currently lived at the time. And as a result, the rest was sort of history from there on. And now it's afforded me a career as an actuary since that time.
That's great. Are there any opportunities that you had that specifically changed your life?
Yes, definitely. So the program, the actual science program at the University of Waterloo is also a co-op program, which offers a bunch of internships as part of the program. Through that opportunity and through my college tenure, I had the opportunity of working for five different actuarial organizations, including a few life insurers, health insurers, and a pension consulting group. I think that afforded me the opportunity to learn more about the profession through these different industries and types of professions in terms of where actuaries work, to learn a little bit more about what they do and ultimately decide going forward what I want to do in the future as an actuary.
Wonderful. Can you tell us a little bit more about the type of work you do today in actuarial consulting and risk management?
Sure. So at a high level, our company provides actuarial services to a number of different insurance companies and financial service companies who sell insurance products. This includes everything from the core actuarial competencies across pricing, valuation, modeling, and financial reporting. And in addition to that, we also do some strategic consulting as it relates to helping companies better transform and align their actual organization to meet the demands and needs of the business. Specifically, as it relates to me over the last couple of years, I've been helping companies with their ALM, asset liability management strategies. In addition to that, redesigning their forecasting processes to meet management needs, and even more recently, helping them with their merger and acquisition activities.
So you are now the IABA president. Congratulations. What have you found to be both the most rewarding and the most challenging about your volunteering there?
I think the most rewarding thing would be just seeing the growth of the organization since I've been a volunteer. It's getting to a point now where we're having to strategically think about where we conduct the annual meetings, just because the size of the meeting itself has grown tremendously in the last 5 years. I think it's not only a testament to the work we've been doing, but also a testament to our mission, which is improving the representation of Black actuaries within the actuarial community. So that's something that I'm really proud of as an organization. In addition to that, when I think about some of the challenges, I would say that we have a number of passionate volunteers and members, and they have a number of different and wonderful ideas. And sometimes it can get a little challenging prioritizing all those different ideas as we start to think about our strategic plan on an annual basis.
Hey, you are instrumental in developing the IABA Ambassador Program. Can you tell me more about the program, and then what's been a highlight so far with that program?
So about 7 years ago, my boss and someone I also consider a mentor, Doug Friend, served on the Corporate Advisory Council of IABA. At that time, he had an idea of expanding our outreach to college campuses to spread the word about the actual profession amongst Black students. I was very eager at that point to get involved in IABA, and he thought it was a perfect match that I reach out to IABA about getting involved specifically in this endeavor. At that time, we reached out to a number of college campuses, and then we were able to connect to a resource at FSU, Florida State University. We were able to essentially bring this program to fruition. Since that time, there has been, I would say, each year, over 20 students who have entered the program. And in addition to that, those students have continued on to attend our annual meetings and now have passed a number of actual exams and are well into their actual career. So that has been really rewarding for me in that aspect, to see the program from its beginning and as it continues to mature, some of the development of the students that were a part of that program and how they've developed into actuaries and also leaders within the IABA organization.
It's wonderful, and I hope that program continues to grow. I'm sure it makes a really big difference. Dwayne, do you have advice for navigating the workplace and supporting those with diverse backgrounds?
Yes. I think networking is very important, especially as a young actuary. I think it's an easy way for one to educate themselves about other parts of the company where they might not be working specifically in. In addition to that, it's a way to explore opportunities within other aspects of the company. And also it's a way to promote yourself and personal brand through others, and as they get to learn a little bit more about you. So I think it's a very important aspect of the workplace that everyone needs to pay attention to as they think about not only passing exams, but also how they move forward in terms of their career growth and development.
Great.
In terms of supporting diverse backgrounds, I think, especially in the workplace, I think inclusion is very important, and it's very important also to be considerate of others. An extension of that, when you think about social activities and events, is making sure that it not only serves a specific group or demographic of the organization, but more holistically is an activity that everyone else can enjoy. I think that's very important in terms of helping someone feel that they are a part of a team and part of the culture at that specific work, at that specific employer. In addition to that, I think providing mentorship is very important, as well as leadership opportunities and training, such that individuals can continue to grow and develop within their company and help and improve retention at a company as part of these programs going forward.
Thank you. That's a lot of really good advice for us. Speaking of advice, do you have advice that you would go back and give to your younger self?
Yes. I think when I first started out in the profession, I was very timid, afraid to ask questions and share my ideas. I lost out on a few opportunities as a result of that. I would encourage everyone, especially my younger self, to speak up, be more confident in yourself going forward, and I think that leads to a better outcome in the totality when thinking about your career and the different growth aspects going forward.
Thank you. Lots of wonderful advice for us, and thanks for sharing your time and about your volunteer experience.
Thank you for having me.